Well, welcome to the Johnny Mark Show. Welcome. Well, this is very odd that I am sandwiched between the two of you. Johnny and Mark are getting ready to leave on the ferry this afternoon. They were delayed by 2 weeks because of weather.
Glad that we did not go across the seas to get that milk out.
Weather, but it's beautiful today, so they're heading off to go pick up a baby milk cow for us on the mainland.
In other news,
A cow got loose. Cows got hit in a truck and got loose. But what caught my attention was the cow running on the security camera down the road, and not one. There were two police cars, but you know what came next was a cowboy. But what really stopped me was, do you know where the cowboy that was in Kentucky riding down the main road was from? West Virginia.
now that's a Christmas miracle right there.
West Virginia. Did you guys keep cowboys running
I
around
didn't know there was
downtown?
anybody at West Virginia that could throw a loop. I mean, I've been there 52 years. I'd have bet again him.
Are you a cowboy?
Definitely not.
You've actually chased
Been there, done
a
that.
steer down the main road.
Down the interstate.
Maybe you would have had better success had you had that cowboy.
If I'd have had a cowboy, I'd have put him into play. I did not have.
Will you document your travels for us, please?
Yeah, out the window.
Go ahead.
So what happened, Johnny? Did you like call up the police and say, "Hey, I got a cow out"?
Yeah, it was Memorial Day of all days, and had a bull get out onto the interstate. My wife called me and said, "Hey, you're on the news, dude." Said, "I see you on Facebook. Your bull's like over at the toll booth, like in a van, about wrecked, and people was like general mayhem." And of course, I couldn't do anything with him. He never was trained for no corn or anything like that. Didn't have no idea about eating, and there's no chance of getting him. And I got my rifle and went to get him, and it happened to be Memorial Day, and got on up in the evening, and as folks doing the hills there, they was all partying out back of their places, little campfires, and they'd become quite inebriated. And I'd come out of the brush, and one guy come running up to me and said, "Hey, mister, you need to be careful. There's a man runs a gun out here." And I said, "Yeah, it's me, fool. I'm out here trying to get a cow, and they's trying to help me." And then the state police showed up, and he said, "I'm going to give you a ticket. I'm going to give you a ticket if you shoot in public out here." And I said, "Well, which ticket is larger? The one that's for discharging a firearm in public, or the one where I, have somebody plow into the side of my bull with their van and sends a bunch to the hospital?"
You just need that cowboy. We all
We'd have
have
had a
callings,
cowboy.
Johnny.
If we would have had a
Maybe
cowboy.
cattle wrangling is not your calling.
Well, nobody does that at home. I mean, we just don't do that.
Why is there a cowboy from West Virginia
I don't
riding
know.
around on the streets
In Kentucky, I don't know. I mean, we need to find this
What was
guy.
his? If you're out there, we'd like to have you come up here and wrangle some of our
I swan,
cattle.
Bubba. Kudos to
He
you.
gave his name, right?
You did. We gotta
Yeah.
find him.
We need to look him up.
We're gonna look you up.
Yeah.
You can come hang out with some West Virginians. Speaking of West Virginians, not in places they're supposed to be, I truly believe that you aren't probably you don't love Kodiak. I mean, this is your
Who are you talking to?
you.
man?
You don't love Kodiak tons.
What's here to love? That's what you got to ask.
Us, me,
Oh, yeah.
we are here.
Fletcher. Get Fletcher. You heard it here first. Thank you, Beans.
Fletch is here. Johnny always talks about the hills, West Virginia, how great, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. Why in the world did you come to Kodiak?
A lot of people asked me that before I came here, and I would try to explain it to them in great detail, and I found it much simpler to just say, God called me, and I said yes. I didn't have to say yes. I could have ran and got swallowed up by a whale, I suppose, like Jonah. But God called me, and I said yes as soon as that. So I guess I'm like that cowboy. He's just cowboying along in West Virginia, and for some reason he gets crossed up the state line and ends up in Kentucky catching a cow in town down there
On the security camera.
on the
that
security
made
camera. So
the TV.
God said, I need you somewhere else, and so now I'm up here wrestling cows and goats.
Really?
So quick before we run out of time, Sunday recap. How was church on Sunday? How was the service?
It was good. I thought it was really good. It's hard to have a bad church service, right?
I think the story of the week for church is what the kids do in church. And I think they're always the highlight, but this week we had a good invitation and people responded, and we just had a good service.
That's the part though that I love so much about what we're doing, because we put the kids right there in the sermon.
Yeah.
So a lot of places, and everybody their own ways, that's great. But for us, we really want to bring them all in there.
Yeah.
I know when I was a kid, I suffered through the service because my parents were like, you will sit here and you will be part of it. But I think what's so neat is having the kids there in the service to be part of everything, but to feel engaged, because God's called us all to be little kids. So it's like Mark has the most difficult job because you're preaching to the kids and you're preaching to the adults, and we're all getting something. Really quick about eyebrow story. First week, eyebrow story.
Yeah.
I had 3 of my middle schoolers in class. They had to put something that they were super thankful for.
Yeah.
And all 3 of them came back like, hey, Miss Kelly, you know what we put that we were so thankful for? And I was like, me? No. They said their eyebrows.
Yeah, that's
and
awesome.
the teacher looked at him like, what are you talking about? Go back to our first episode if you want to hear about that from the eyebrows. But the kids are taking it to the school.
Yeah.
I love that.
Which prompts the teacher to say, what in the world are y'all talking about? Which gives them an opportunity to talk to them about the Lord.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. We're gonna take it by storm. Wait for these 2 West Virginians that are definitely fish out of water in Kodiak, and everything that's going to be coming. Say an extra prayer for them as they hit the water today, and we will have some highlight clips to come. There's a video that I'm going to also put up here of the prep that goes into being able to get the trailer to get onto the boat to get the cow. And so if you guys keep track of that along the way, we will be here next week here, and we'll see you then. Anything else?
That's all I got.
Good job, Pat.